this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the BusinessMirror podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopase.
Good day, I'm Jasper Arcalas, standing in for Dennis Estopase. Welcome to an assessment of the Philippine stock market performance, which comes out in the print edition and online version of the BusinessMirror every Monday. The journalist behind this story is BusinessMirror's VG Cabuag. Let's get on with the story. Share prices closed higher last week, with the main index closing at 8,000 points. However, the market was volatile nearly the full week after the release of key data on the Philippine economy. The benchmark Philippine Stock Exchange Index gained 88.64 points to close at 8,065.76 points. The main index saw its entry to the 8,000 point level at the beginning of the week, gaining 3% for the first 2 trading days. But the market steam fizzled out on Wednesday as investors scrambled in profit-taking after the government released key economic data the week after All Souls Day. Inflation continued its downward trend, coming in at 0.8% for October. Meanwhile, growth in the country's gross domestic product for the third quarter came in at 6.2%, which surprised many. Christopher Mangun, research head at AAA Securities Incorporated, said that economic fundamentals continue to improve, but stock market investors also continue to ignore fundamentals and are focused on the general sentiment, which is still quite dim. Nonetheless, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index ended with some gains, which marks its 5th consecutive week in the green, Mangun added. Trading volumes, however, were still low at an average of 6.08 billion. This amount is still down from the year-to-date average of 6.31 billion. Foreign investors were net buyers at 602.87 million. Most of the sub-indices ended on the green, led by the broader All Shares Index that closed 36.35 points higher to 4,823.80. The Financials Index rose 28.35 points to 1,946.75, while the Industrial Index gained 7.39 to 10,478.33. The Holding Firms Index was up 103.02 points to 7,933.32, while the Property Index fell 1.4 to 4,170.89 points. The Services Index increased 38.91 points to 1,551.96. The Mining and Oil Index was down 123.91 points to 9,092.61. For the week, losers managed to edge out gainers 119 to 105. 24 shares remained unchanged. Top gainers were Zurpass Incorporated, DFNN Incorporated, Bright Kindle Resources and Investments Incorporated, Chemical Industries of the Philippines Incorporated, Kepwealth Property Philippines Incorporated, and Pinma Petroleum and Geothermal Incorporated. Top losers were the A and B shares of FNJ Prince Holdings Corporation, BHI Holdings Incorporated, Republic Glass Holdings Corporated, Synergy Grid and Development Philippines Incorporated, Santras Home Developers Incorporated, and Paxis Incorporated. This week, share prices may continue its positive run after the main index managed to stay at the 8,000 point level despite market volatility. Mangun said, there is a strong possibility that it could continue to inch higher due to foreign fund inflows and the improving investor sentiment. We may see it build momentum and trade in a new range. The key is for it to stay above 8,000 points, Mangun added. Mangun further said that a break below 8,000 points will turn investors bearish and may well send it all the way back to a strong support level. Once investors realize how well our economy has performed and start looking at fundamentals again, we will see investors flood back into this market and take it to new highs, Mangun said. Luis Limlingan, Managing Director at Regina Capital and Development Corporation, said there will be expected movements of funds out of the equities and bond markets after the US and China agreed to remove trade tariffs. As tensions decreased, the investors left the Philippines and reinvested into asset classes closer to their region of domicile, Limlingan said, referring to the trade last Friday. For the stock picks, Regina Capital commented on Universal Robina Corp, traded as URC, and PLDT Incorporated, traded as TEL. Regina Capital provided its advice when its support price of 143.36 pesos holds for the stock of URC, the food group of the Gokongwei family. The stock of URC looks to be on its way to challenging its closest support, positioned at 148.40 pesos. The previous session saw URC post a downside of as much as 2.9%, as the sudden spike in selling pressure called for a downward bias. Momentum is staying flattish, however, Regina Capital said. URC's shares closed Friday at 151.50 pesos apiece. Meanwhile, the broker gave the same recommendation on the stock of PLDT Incorporated, with its support price of between 1,079 pesos and 1,090 pesos per share. The stock continued on a two-day sell-down, even reaching an intraday low of 1,097. Despite indicators remaining contradicting, it is evident that the stock may encounter a sell-down, Regina Capital said. At this point, expect TL to challenge its closest support at 1,090 pesos, as the indicators continue to point towards some sustained downward bias. Regina Capital added, PLDT shares closed last week at 1,110 pesos. For the text version, please go to www.businessmirror.com.ph and search for Stock Market Outlook under the Companies section of the Business Mirror.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.